So today I want to talk to you about self-love, what it is not, and 9 ways you can practice self-love. Self-love is a state of appreciation for yourself. You do things to support your physical needs, your emotional well-being, and your spiritual growth. Self-love is where you have a high regard for your well-being and your happiness. You don't sacrifice your well-being for others. You know what you deserve and you don't settle for less. Self-love is when you know that you are valuable and you know that you are worthy for whatever you want. Self-love is when you nurture your growth and your development for your personality and your character. Right? So what self-love is not? Some people have a misconception of self-love. I'm going to tell you what I believe it's not. Self-love is not being egotistical, is not being boastful, is not being conceited, it's not being arrogant. Self-love is not only thinking about yourself and not thinking about others. Self-love is not when you think that you're the most beautiful, you're the most talented, you're the smartest. That is not self-love. Self-love is not when you think that you are never wrong. It's not blaming everybody else when something goes wrong. It's not just loving yourself when things are going good with you. It's not looking good on not to look good on social media. That is not self-love. It's not overspending to keep up with the trend. So now I'm going to give you 9 ways that you could practice self-love. And the first way you could practice self-love is to be mindful and to be aware. Being mindful and aware means like you are observing things around you. You are conscious of yourself and your surroundings. You pay attention to your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, and you also know what you want, you know what you need, you know what your soul desires, you know what your heart desires. You pay attention to the decisions that you make and you make the right decision for the long term. Right? So how being mindful transfer into self-love? When you are mindful, you can regulate your emotions. You can manage your emotions. When you have different feelings or sensations that come up in your body, you can pay attention to this and you can control yourself. So you could decrease stress, you could decrease anxiety, you could also, like for example, when you get angry, when I get angry, I would feel a sensation in my stomach, right? So I feel my stomach like it starts to feel like it gets tight, and then the sensation rises up to like my chest, and then I could feel like my heart start to beat faster, and then I feel like I'm breathing faster, and then I feel like I'm trembling, and then I feel like I want to fight. So when I'm aware of these sensations, I probably would not argue, I probably would not yell, I probably would not have an outburst, because I am mindful of these sensations, which is telling me you're angry, so I have a better chance of reacting in a calm way, right? So that's like an example of how being mindful of your feelings, emotions, and sensation can control stress, anxiety, anger, whatever emotion you are feeling. And you could also make better decisions, right, when you are aware and conscious of yourself and your surroundings, right? And being mindful and being aware can help you to observe your thoughts and your feelings without judgment. So for example, if you have a lot of negative thoughts in your mind, you would realize this and you would not add on more negative thoughts and spiral into thinking negatively constantly. You could stop yourself, you realize I'm thinking negative, and then you are aware of this, and then you stop yourself, right? So it would boost rational thinking, so you make better decisions. Now, the second thing you could do to practice self-love is to get to know yourself. You should know your strengths, you should know your weaknesses, you should know what you're passionate about, you should know your values. What do you value? Do you value honesty, integrity, compassion, open-mindedness, loyalty, love, truth, whatever it is? You should know your values. You should know also your mission and your vision in life. You should know what you like, what you dislike, what objects you like, places, people, way of life, whatever it is. You should know what you like and what you dislike. You should also know how to create boundaries for yourself and others, right? So, for example, if you are frustrated about something, maybe things are not going the way you want, and you know you have a bad habit to maybe overspend and go shopping to feel better, or you start eating unhealthy foods, like ice cream, a bucket of ice cream when you're stressed and frustrated and things are not going the way you want, you do these things. So you could create a boundary for yourself, and you tell yourself, when things are not going right and I feel stressed and frustrated, I am not going to eat a bucket of ice cream. I am not going to go shopping. Whatever bad habit you have, you're going to tell yourself that you're not doing that. So that's a boundary you created for yourself. You can also create boundaries for others. Maybe you realize when you answer emails on the weekends, or you take calls from work, or respond to messages on weekends or after hours, you realize when you do this, it takes away your time from your family, and you know, whatever message or email, depending on the email, could also upset you and ruin maybe your weekend or the time with your family. So you would express that you would not be reading or responding to emails or calls or messages on the weekend, right? So that would be a boundary you create for others. That would help to protect yourself, so you know yourself, right? And the next thing is, well, how all of this transfer into self-love, how knowing yourself transfer into self-love. So when you accept yourself and you embrace yourself, you love yourself completely, which means you love all your flaws. Then you can start to improve and correct different aspects of your personality that you may not like. So first, you actually have to accept yourself and know your bad habits, and then you love that, and then from there you can start to improve and correct. When you know yourself, you have independence of opinion, you have independence of mind. You would not really need a lot of advice from others, always seeking advice from others, asking what you should do, how this look, what career you should do, what you should study, how much. You know yourself, and you would not really need much advice, right? When you know yourself, this transfer into, it's easier to have confidence in yourself because you know your abilities, you know your talents, you know your strengths, right? And with all of that, you can make clear decisions, clear and precise decisions, and you would have a happier life. You would also have less inner conflict because what you believe and your values would align with your actions, right? So knowing yourself also help you to resist social pressure, peer pressure, right? You understand yourself, you know yourself, you know what you want, so you would not get influenced easily by others. When you know yourself and you understand yourself, it's also easier to tolerate and understand others because you know that maybe This one time I had an argument with someone, and the way that I responded was bad, and it's because I felt angry about something and so on. So if somebody irritates you or annoy you, you would have more tolerance and you would understand them better because you understand yourself. Now, the third thing you can do to practice self-love is to practice good self-care. Have good nutrition, exercise, get proper sleep, have a self-care routine, and do yearly checkups, or do checkups like to make sure that nothing's happening to you, not to wait until you feel pain or a situation gets bad to seek medical attention, right? So that's the third thing you could do is to practice good self-care. The fourth thing you could do is protect yourself. Protect yourself in terms of choosing your friends wisely, limiting enemies, and also, like maybe in dating and relationships, you could notice red flags and you act on them. You remove yourself from toxic friendships and toxic relationships, whether it's family, friends, romantic partners, exes that you need to stop talking to, whatever it is, you remove yourself when you realize things are getting toxic. So you also, when you protect yourself, you also would see people for who they are. You would accept them for who they are, and you wouldn't try to change them, right? When you are relating with people or whatever you're doing in life, you don't overgive, you don't overextend yourself, you don't overdo, whether it's in family, relationship, work. You avoid a burnout, and you avoid being extremely exhausted, right? Another way you protect yourself is you act on your needs. You don't act on what you need in the moment. You delay short-term gratification, right? And you don't sabotage yourself in relationships, in career. You make the right decisions to protect yourself. Fifth thing you can do to practice self-love is to have compassion on yourself. Have compassion towards yourself. You speak good to yourself. This internal dialogue that you have, you're not going to nitpick and criticize yourself constantly. If you get something wrong, you make a mistake, you're not going to say in your mind, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, that was so silly, I can't get this right, why am I not getting this right, and many other things we say in our mind, right? So you need to have compassion to yourself, towards yourself. You need to talk in a loving and encouraging and a supportive way to yourself. You also, when you have compassion towards yourself, you would also validate your feelings. You don't tell yourself, why am I feeling like this, or try to stop yourself from feeling a certain way. You validate your feelings and your actions. Even if it's wrong, you reflect on it, and then you could change for better another day. When you make a mistake, you forgive yourself. You learn and you grow with compassion, with grace. You also know when to take a break, you know to leave room for mistakes, and you know you would do better another day. You don't put too much pressure on yourself to be like perfect. When you have compassion towards yourself, you know how to celebrate without feeling guilty. You know how to acknowledge the good work that you have done. You could tell yourself that you did a good job without waiting for anyone else to tell you that you did a good job, right? When you have compassion towards yourself, you balance your hard work and full dedication with fulfilling rewards or enjoyable rewards, right? You have a balance in your life where you work hard and you enjoy yourself with different activities that you like. You're also realistic with yourself, and you know that you cannot be happy every single moment, and that things might not always go the way that you want, right? So the sixth thing that you could do to practice self-love is to honor your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, your hopes. You walk towards your dreams. You step out of your comfort zone and you get experience. You follow your passion, you find your passion, you find your purpose, and you don't give up on yourself. You don't give up on your goals, on your dreams. You find your purpose in life. That might take some time, that might take some years, but you're going to honor your dreams. And why not giving up on your dreams is a form of self-love. If you give up on your dreams, you're going to be unhappy and constantly complain about your life situation, whatever aspect in life, home life, work life, social life. You might be complaining about the environment, about your country, whatever it is that you are not pleased of and you don't like. You will constantly complain about this if you don't follow your dreams. So that is a form of self-love, following your dreams. If you don't follow your dreams, your life would not be unique to you. You would not be passionate about your life, and you would take life for granted. You would also miss out on learning from failure and trial and error. And when you learn from failure and trial and error, you gain a lot of knowledge and valuable experience in life, and that creates wisdom. So if you don't follow your dreams, you would not have wisdom, you would not learn from failure and gain experience and knowledge. If you don't follow your dreams, you would always be wondering, what if I did this? What if I did that? You don't know. You always be saying, what if? And you don't want to be thinking, what if, right? You need to try different things. You're going to get it wrong, but then you're going to know that that wasn't for me, and you switch, and then maybe after a couple of years you find your purpose, and you don't have to keep asking, what if I did this? What if I did that? Right? So your life would have more clarity and more direction. So the seventh thing that you could do to practice self-love is to own your potentials and your talents. Meaning you're not afraid to take opportunities. You take action on your talents, on your skills, your abilities, and your potential. You take action on these. You don't just have potential and leave it there. Why is it important to know your potential, and how is this a form of self-love? You will create a better and more fulfilling life because you will be doing something that you enjoy and that you are good at and that you love. This will also help you to choose your career wisely. You will be improving your strengths and your talents. And when you are doing something that you love and that you are strong in, you would contribute to society, and you will feel valuable and important within the society, and that's very important to having a happier life, right? So the eighth thing you could do to practice self-love is to live with intention. Living with intention means you're finding your purpose, or maybe you find it already, you already have your passion, or you are searching for your purpose. You're living with intention. You're making clear decisions, right? Your actions will support your decisions. You know what you want, you know your intentions, you know your beliefs, and you know your values, and you work on that every day. Why is it important to know your purpose in life and to live intentionally? How is this a form of self-love? It means that you wouldn't waste your life, you wouldn't take life for granted, you will be focused on a goal. You will be feeling fully involved in your life, and you will feel passionate and more fulfilled. You get more clarity within your life, less confusion, and you could shape your life according to your personality, what you like. You don't waste time in life. You would be living with integrity. You will be sticking to your values. And when you do all of this, you gain a sense of achievement in life when you stick to your values and you live with integrity. And when things happen to you that's unfortunate or seems like things are not going right, or why are these things happening to me, it wouldn't actually feel or look like why are these things happening to me, because you will tackle every situation in a creative way. It's just not things are randomly happening to you. You will tackle each situation in a creative way and you would stay motivated. So that is living intentionally. Now, the last thing you could do, the ninth thing you could do to practice self-love, is to work on healing your trauma and wounds. We all come from dysfunctional families, and that has created trauma in our life. So if you have been physically abused, verbally abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, or your parents were alcoholics, or you experienced domestic abuse, you maybe are using a lot of drugs, maybe you are paranoid, maybe you experienced a natural disaster, or you were tortured, maybe you have eating disorders, maybe your parent disappeared because they got a divorce, they died, maybe they are in prison, maybe you have mental illnesses like depression or anxiety. Maybe you have insecure attachment style that you have developed in childhood. Maybe you created a negative beliefs about romantic relationships because you have been cheated on in the past, lied to, or betrayed by a romantic partner. So you probably have negative beliefs or outlook on romantic relationships. Maybe you are with someone who is unhealthy for you for a very long time, whatever it is. These are just a few things that I see popular in society, and what I see happening to other people, and what I have experienced for myself. So those are just a few things that I listed. There are many more. Right? So what I need to say now is that growing up, society, family, friends have really led us to be in denial about this, and denial is one of the most popular defense mechanisms. So most of us try to shut out these negative emotions that we get, right? So how working on your trauma and wounds is a form of self-love. First, you would have better relationships. You would also reduce your unhealthy patterns of living and thinking. Then you would also develop more helpful strategies to feel better and deal with the different situations you have in life. You would also get a relief when you understand why you are triggered. You would also get a deeper understanding of your actions, your feelings, your thoughts. And when you understand and could label and explain what is happening to you, you would have more compassion towards yourself. So working on trauma is a form of self-love, because you're going to be a better person and you're going to have better relationships, right? So those are 9 things you can practice to show your self-love. It's a lot. You would not get everything right. You would make mistakes, and sometimes you would backslide and go back into old patterns, but you have to try and to never give up. So that is all I have for today. There are many other things you can do to practice self-love, but you can think about these and work on them. So that is it, and see you in the next video.